So in example 5 here, we're asked to factor by grouping, and if we try to factor it in its current form, if we were to break this into groups of 2, what we're going to find out is that there is nothing that these two terms here have in common. And there is nothing that these two terms have in common. So we kind of feel like we're stuck. But what we could do is we could reorder the terms and put things together that have something in common, and put the other things together that have something in common. So what I'm suggesting is that we could put the a squareds and the c squareds together. So anything that has an a squared, we could bring it over here and put it with the other thing that has an a squared. And then the things that have a c squared, we can put together as well. So if I do that, I'll have 4a squared, and then I'm bringing that minus a squared b thereafter, and then the minus bc squared, and then the plus 4c squared. Now, if we try to factor by grouping, here I have a group of 2, and here I have a group of 2. And in my first group of 2, what they have in common is an a squared. If I divide each of them by a squared, I'll have 4 minus b. In my second group, what I notice that they have in common is a c squared. And remember, if there's a minus in front of that first term, bring it out with your greatest common factor. So I'm going to divide everything by negative c squared. Well, that'll give me a b for my first term, and that'll give me a negative 4 for my second term. Now, the problem, though, is that by bringing out that negative, I didn't end up with anything in common here and there. But notice in the parentheses what I have. They are just opposites of one another. So I said, if there's a negative in front of that second group, bring that negative out in front. This is a situation where by doing so, it produced a binomial that was different in the second term than in the first. So if I want to correct that and make it be the same, I'll just take and multiply everything by negative 1. So this will become a positive c squared, a negative b, and a positive 4. And now you notice the binomials are the same. I have negative b plus 4, which is the same as 4 minus b. So the 4 minus b is my greatest common factor. If I divide it out, those cancel, and what I'm left with is a squared plus c squared. Those are the trickiest ones.